And so I would just like to invite you to begin by just listening and continue to adjust to your seating position, however you're seated, but just begin listening and allow yourself to adapt and to adjust to what you're hearing. And notice if your body is cooperating or if it's still kind of agitated, trying to get to where your intention is set. But we're just listening. Patiently listening. And allowing this listening process to inform us of our local space, what is near. And then occasionally branching out into the non-local space, which are things that are which are in the further perimeter of our environment, maybe outside of your home, and alternating back and forth. And we'll begin to apply some discernment to our hearing. And whatever objects are arising in your field of hearing, see if you can discern these objects as vibrations, depersonalizing them, because this is essentially what arises in our field of hearing are vibrations. And you may find it interesting to reframe what sounds so familiar to you as a vibration. There's a percussive quality to these objects of familiarity and see if you can notice their tone, their texture, their sharpness, and maybe even their duration. And as you do so, allow your air pathways to remain open and functional. As you become more receptive to these waves of sound called vibrations. As we observe these objects in our field of hearing, we're going to fold in another dimension of awareness, which is feeling tones. So along with the observation of sound vibrations, we're going to observe the vibrations within the body. Keeping your air passage open and operational, finding a good balance as you expand your capacity for awareness of multiple dimensions: sound, vibrations, and feeling vibrations. And within the body, you may feel a literal sensation of a vibration or an impulse. And just allow yourself to be present to these signs of life that are being generated by the body. Keeping your air pathways open and functional. Giving yourself permission to explore different regions of the body, including your feet, the back of your neck, your spine, your torso, your hands. Just freely explore what is calling your attention. Throughout this sensory exploration of internal and external vibrations. Keeping your air pathways open and functional so that you may maintain some equilibrium. We're only doing two things right now, which is observing the field of hearing and the qualities and tones of feeling. Observe the current state of your body. Noting its temperature. There may be multiple temperatures or climates that you're experiencing. Some parts are warm, some may be cold simultaneously. But is it settling? Is it moving towards rest? You're doing really well. There may be some challenge to this process for some of you, but you're here and you're not practicing alone. We're on this endeavor together. Keeping your air pathways open and functional, we're going to fold in a third dimension. which is the quality of mind. And by engaging the quality of mind, we're simply going to observe what sort of activity is the mind generating in this very moment. Utilizing your awareness of mind. Can you discern if there is anything that the mind is producing that is actually relevant to this current time of your experience? Is it in sync with what you are endeavoring to do, which is to be present to this moment? Or is it offering distractive things? And look again at mind and see if it's offering anything that is actually relevant to this current time. Some of you may observe that the majority of what the mind is producing is not relevant to this present time. And the deeper observation or potential realization is that I am not my mind. This may strike you as a mystery unfolding. allowing your pathways of oxygen to remain open and functional, expanding your capacity for multiple dimensions of mindful awareness happening simultaneously. Hearing, feeling, and observing the function of mind. The mind is with us all of the time, but perhaps through these exercises, you're able to discern the space that awareness gives us to observe mind and to see that we're not actually controlling it, but we can observe it. I don't have to believe everything that is thought. I invite you now just to do a free and open exploration as you are led to, observing what arises naturally, internally or externally, but endeavor to do so from the platform of awareness that you have established. Simply receiving the vibrations and impulses and the wisdom of discernment. And allow some sense of liberation to arise for you. You can detach just a little bit from the familiarity of your being. Allowing yourself to unwind the coil that has been bound so tight. The fixations. allowing your air pathways to remain open, fluid, and functional. I'm going to invite you to land at what you identify as your heart center, or just the center of your being. Collecting ourselves, and perhaps sensing some sense of harmony with these different aspects of ourselves. And I want to invite you to patiently acknowledge one of our greatest teachers. And this teacher is intimately familiar with each of us. And this teacher that we will acknowledge is called pain. Pain. And this teacher called pain shows up physically. This teacher shows up emotionally. This teacher also shows up psychologically. And we often don't want to receive anything that it's trying to show us. But pain teaches us patience. It has this natural ability to get us to slow down, to pause, to see where we've been and what we've been doing and trying to do. Most of pain's lessons are nonverbal. But pain is a common human experience. And we all have different types of pain. And with this acknowledgement of this teacher, the intention is that it may open the door up for you to offer yourself compassion. And maybe even seeing a little bit of the redeeming qualities of pain itself. Knowing that not only do you experience pain, but everyone to your left, to your right, in front of you and behind you shares this common experience of some kind of pain. Keeping your air pathways open and functional. Make a final observation of your realm of mind. Noting its quality. A final observation of your feeling tones and internal vibrations. And moving towards the exterior, we will reconnect with the field of sound. And notice if we're hearing things differently. We'll take a collective breath together on the count of three. One, two, three. We'll inhale and release the breath. And allow yourself to observe and reflect on your own dimensions of awareness. And this practice session is complete. I hope this was supportive to you. I hope this was explorative for you and beneficial. Thank you for your practice.